I've finally worked out what the Brexit Freedoms Bill actually is. It's the freedom from Brexit. It is. Well. Oh dear. Oh, Brexit is literally falling apart in front of our eyes. And Rishi Sunak is helping it on its way. Maybe we should vote for the Tories just to get Brexit over and done with. Since Keir Starmer says, well, there's no undoing Brexit. Well, Rishi Sunak is doing it on its own. Sorry, but... Oh god, this is the second video I've recorded today, which is basically another undermining of the Brexit. Another one. Oh dear. EU equality laws to be reinstated to avoid a gap in protections for workers. Because they've done diddly squat to replace the ones that they wanted to, well, ban. Jake Rees-Mogg, Dovcat Forlock, he's rolling around, he is, on the floor. Yeah. I think he needs to be a little bit more...
I think it's rather uplifting.
Yes, you do. Anyway, EU equality laws to be reinstated. Would you believe it, eh? Oh dear. So lawyers have welcomed the move to retain EU-derived protections for workers' rights, but it risks endangering, wish it would endanger, oh my god, I can't remember words, this is so funny, angering Tory Eurosceptics, who want to see divergence from Brussels laws. Yet again, we can't do that. If we want to trade with Brussels, well, not just Brussels, but, you know, with the EU. Sorry. I just I'd love to be on the fly on the wall with all these Brexiters' homes right now. What? You have to ask yourself now, is Brexit a good idea? What were the benefits of Brexit going to be? We seem to be rolling back on everything. We might as well just rejoin and be done with it. Oh, they don't want us. But anyway. Oh, dear me, anyway. Crikey. Oh dear, what can you say anyway? It's an absolute mess, that's what you can say. So the government has announced plans to reinstate EU equality laws before they expire at the end of the year, admitting that the move is required to avoid the clear gap in protections for workers. And we're talking about, you know, women's rights and, you know, maternity, paternity, all those sort of things. Workers' rights. The ministers will today lay a statutory instrument intended to enshrine key rights and principles derived from the European Union in British law. Is this Rishi Sunak doing his bit to sort of try and win people back over again? Oh, he's got to get rid of all our protections. Oh, no, apparently he's not now. Oh, he is human after all. Maybe he's asked AI, what should we do? And AI said, well, reverse Brexit. Oh dear. It follows questions over whether some employment protections related to things like equal pay and maternity leave would be scrapped from January when the retained EU law revocation and reform bill comes into effect. You know, Jake Rees-Mogg's flagship bill. Well, the controversial legislation, also known as Brexit Freedoms Bill, will dispense with hundreds of Brussels-derived laws still on British statute books. One minute there was 1,000 of these laws, and there was 3,000 of these laws, and then there's over 4,000. There's that 6,000 of these flipping laws that have to... It took 40 years to write them. And now we just want to undermine it all. Well, actually, no, they decided it's a bad idea. It will also end the supremacy of EU law and UK law, erasing previous case law principles. See, one of the other problems is a lot of these other laws that we want to keep are based on these principles that are also written in law that they want to get rid of. So the whole lot will get undermined. You know, so, you know, I don't know if you ever tried it. You know, you've got a little table with you know, tablecloth on, it's got all these cups on it. You try and rip it out really quickly, and you're hoping all the cups are going to stay there. That's just luck half the time and a little bit of skill. But the problem is we've got a government that's got no skill. They're useless. Besides, Brexit was never going to work anyway. So trade unions and employment lawyers had warned This would create uncertainty over key protections for British workers, which derive from the EU and don't exist in British law. The government said its update today means that necessary protections are clearly stated in our domestic legislation. It's really important. You see, if there's money, there's a writ. If there's an accident at work, there's a claim. Where's the law to back it up if you get rid of them all? Argument's sake. That's just one tiny little example. So one legal expert welcomed the announcement, but said it raised legitimate questions on around what gains had been made from post-Brexit sovereignty. If EU laws are simply going to be replicated. The Tories are undoing Brexit themselves, that's what they're doing. Oh, I just want the Brexit, they said. Oh, they said, now I've got it, I want to give it back. What a bunch of... That they are. Crikey, plonkers. Oh, so anyway, the protections being retained include the single source test, which gives women the right to equal pay with men. Now, you know as well as I do that that's just not the case. It doesn't, it doesn't happen even with these laws. But it's better than it would be. You know? Women are not treated equally in the workplace. In fact, it's quite disgraceful. Well, it is disgraceful. It's disgusting. Don't get me wrong, I believe that a worker should be treated for their ability. If a bloke can do a job better, well then let him do the job. If the woman do a job better, let her do the job. Employ him on merit, not on their sex. And then obviously you've got racism in this as well. There's all those protections as well, you see. Let's judge people on who they are, not what they are. That's what I would like to see. But it still goes on, doesn't it? Misogyny and all that. But apparently Dominic Cummings is not misogynistic. Oh, God, that's the... You know what get me about that is when he was being interviewed, or in the COVID inquiry, and asked lots of uncomfortable questions, and he clearly is misogynistic. Although he said, I'm not misogynistic because I was equally as horrible to the men as well. But I have to ask you, why wasn't it stepped on? It wasn't stepped on because it had Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson with his seat at the head of the table. He didn't care. I don't actually blame Dominic Cummings. He's a bit of an you know what, I don't like him. Obviously not. But you have to blame those who are in charge because they didn't do anything about it. Yet they knew what was going on. They saw it with their own eyes, their head, with their own ears. They're the people we should be shaking down. Just get rid of Dominic Cummings. We don't have to talk about him. Let's get rid of him. Not literally, not like that. No, I don't mean... No, nothing like that. Just don't employ him. He even admits he should never had that job. Anyway, I digressed a bit there. Anyway, it makes me a bit furious. Furious it does. So... we need equality in the workplace, based on people's ability. If you ain't got the ability, give them the training, then get it, I suppose, as well as that too. So anyway, it gives women the right to equal pay with men for doing the work of equal value. Yes, fair enough. And preventing women from experiencing less favourable treatment at work because they are breastfeeding, for instance. Now, my daughter's breastfeeding, and okay, she's not working at the moment because she can't. She's got too many kids. But the other half does. There's just on the bus. She's breastfeeding on the bus or breastfeeding anywhere. She's sort of frowned upon. People try and cover her up. Literally touch her to cover her up. I can't see anything. There's a baby in the way. What happens when you're breastfeeding? I should know. Anyway, protecting women from unfavourable treatment after they return from maternity leave, where treatment is in connection with the pregnancy or pregnancy-related illness occurring before their return, ensuring that women can continue to receive special treatment from their employer in connection with maternity, for example, through enhanced occupational maternity schemes, confirming that the definition of disability in the context of employment will be explicitly cover working life. Now, my son's disabled, and the benefit system does not allow him to do any work. It's just ridiculous. It doesn't. It's not flexible. You're either disabled, can't work at all, or you go to work. Well, you can't do that. You could do a little something. You could do a little, but then you lose all his benefits and wouldn't have enough money to cover him. You know, his disability benefit, PPI. So holding employers accountable if they create a or allow discriminatory recruitment conditions, such as if they make public discriminatory statements about access to employment in their organisation. Like, for instance, job open to white people only. For instance, that's not legal. No. Providing explicit protections from indirect discrimination by association so that those who may be caught up and disadvantaged by discrimination against others are also protected. And the move also risks to endanger angering Eurosceptic Tories who want to see the UK move away from the EU's influence. In the paper, by accident, the actual document, there was notes on it, and left on there. I don't know if it was accidentally or not. Basically making this statement. So, oh no, we're going to make the right wing angry. Excuse me. So Max Binthorpe, the chair of the Law Society's Employment Law Committee, welcomed the clarification that the vital rights would be for the legislative dustbin as of December 31st. However, he said that the move does raise legitimate questions about the point of Brexit from the sovereignty standpoint. There ain't no point of Brexit. Brexit is just stupid. It always was stupid. So there you go. They're rolling back Brexit. Yeah, the Tories are rolling back Brexit. So if you want to do Brexit, you've got to vote Tory. I know you won't. I'm not suggesting that you should. Definitely not. No. That's a really bad idea because they're useless. I'm sure Keir Starmer, I hope Keir Starmer will see the light and realise that Brexit was shit as well and roll back Brexit as well. That's what I hope. It's an absolute flippin' mess, isn't it? It's an absolute mess. Oh, dear me. Oh, Britain's broken. What say you? Leave it in the comments down below. Because I do read the comments, but you probably already know. I can't always reply, but I do read them. Oh dear. Anyway, you've got to support the channel. You can do that on Patreon or buy us coffee. And the links are down below in the description. There's also the super thanks just down there as well. Because I couldn't do the channel without your support. I really couldn't. And those who've already done so, I really do appreciate it. And so do my doggies. That they do. There's one over there. Silhouetting in the background. That she is. Fast asleep. Look at her. Little Pandora. Oh well. Well, it's time for me to go, so I'm going to say ta-ta, you know. Yeah. But before you do, don't forget to boop that like button and maybe subscribe and maybe that little bell icon because then you get one buzz in your pocket every time I upload another video. So, toodaloo.